Welcome to this session of Raz-Lee Education. We are talking about how to survive a combined attack. My name is Moshe Software Marketing Manager here at Razlee Israel. And today we will discuss what happens when you are a victim or a combined attack. We will start thinking about choose one of the following situations. Coming into work one morning and you cannot sign on, or seeing a message that your data files are encrypted and you have to pay in Bitcoin to decrypt them, or find your company name mentioned in the news as attacked by cyber terrorists, or you're told that some of your data is exposed on the web and it's sensitive data, clients, processes, sensitive information. Okay, it can be any of these situations, or it can be all of them at once. So, what is a combined attack? A combined attack, it's an attack that comes from so many sides that your security system is unable to stop it at a 100%. Mostly because they have your credentials or they use the credentials of someone else to get into your server and infect it. So probably when they sidestep the security, they wipe the backups and encrypt everything. So you have no escape and has to pay the ransom. But we will talk about how a combined attack is really done and how it can affect an ABMI, and in which case they have full success, because they not always have full success. So if we think that IBMI cannot be attacked, we are totally wrong, because it can. And how this can happen? Okay, first, your IBM app is mapped on a network, so it's not totally alone. Second, it's part of your enterprise infrastructure, so it must be part of your security plan to protect this IBMI. How they enter to your server? Okay, first, they have the control of one credential to enter, or they have one infected user. This infected user doesn't even know that he's infected, and he can activate the ransomware, or they can activate by command the ransomware. In any case, the server is mapped to the network, and in the moment that it's mapped, the ransomware doesn't stop and encrypts every file and every machine that's mapped to the same network. In some case, they steal information before and then show that information as a proof that they are the ones that entered the server and that they have the decryption key. So then they make the ransom. How the IBMI is affected? Okay, as I told before, it's no longer an isolated platform. So there is a real risk. Or malware or ransomware can spread into other devices via network drive, even via cloud storage. The IFS directory can become ransom victim because it's on the map drive and the ransom basically encrypts the data. And as it encrypts every file that has access to, this includes the IFS files. So the organization will be paralyzed and exposed. So there are no many options after this point. If I tell you that a virus can be on the IBMI and then it will be executed on a PC with Windows, with a Windows PC that is sharing a folder. So it's not that IBMI gets infected itself. It becomes a virus distribution center. So the problem with the virus is that the virus, you can find them, but they are not executing. So you need a specific antivirus for that system. The ransomware is not a virus. It can be transmitted by a virus, but it's not really a virus. So an antivirus will not stop it because it's a program that is running. It's not really a virus that has a signature. Even if you have the signature of the ransomware, you cannot stop the attack. You can only see the results at the end, and the results are catastrophic every time. You can see in this picture how many viruses found in one IBMI. So it's really a record that you might find the first time you run an antivirus in your IBMI and you didn't know that you have viruses there. Okay, the safety, but if the server is not connected to the internet, oh well, it's not connected to the internet. Yeah, but it's mapped on the network and ransomware moves across the network, not across internet connection. It needs the network to move across, so it can be infected and attacked. And when the IFS is mapped on an infected PC, the IBM is totally under attack. In the Windows PC, you will see a picture like this. Usually, this picture is an automatic ransom, so they are not contacting you in any personal way. They are demanding the worth of $300 in Bitcoin to such an address. So once you pay, they give you a decryption key, but you're not 100% sure that they will give you the decryption key. So what we have to think about is the following. We know that last year we have one attack every 11 seconds. This year is probably more. So every 11 seconds there is a ransomware attack. And we have to take in consideration this year, the 5 major ransomware attacks were on NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA, the largest semiconductor chip company, the one who makes the great video cards. So NVIDIA was a victim. And Costa Rica government, we're talking about the whole government of a country. Now we go with Bernalillo County in New Mexico. And this is one of the first big attacks in the year. And the county was paralyzed because they don't have any system working. Now we're talking about Toyota. And we're talking about not just one branch of Toyota. We're talking about 3 Toyota suppliers in different parts of the world. And we are talking about the SpiceJet, and it's an Indian airline. So we're talking about an airline. They don't have flights. They don't have an answer to the passengers. And in many, many, many countries, they had problems because they were victim of an attack. Another example, um, this is a insurance company here in Israel. It's a very big one, and they run on IBMI. So this example is quite specific that even if you have an IBMI, you can be attacked. They had a problem because their ransom fee was almost 1 million. We're talking about $1 million. So the group that made the attack was named Black Shadow, and they will release the customer's private records. And there were many government employees and top government employees on that list. So they shared screenshots on a Telegram channel, and Sherbet declined to pay the ransom because they say we will not give to the kind of terrorists. Okay, so the outcome was that Sherbet was out of operation for 3 months. So 3 months without being able to work. And we have another example, and this is a software company. They develop software for IBMI, so they have IBMI servers also in their company. It's an international Tel Aviv-based Israeli software company, and they was, were forced to pay a ransom of $250,000. So they were threatened to shut down the computers. And the problem is that they were shut down in any case. So they have 900 employees here in Israel unable to work and 2,500 employees around the world in other locations unable to work. So they took advantage of their remote working in the company. So they entered the company via FTP, via ODBC, and all the exit points that we have mentioned in previous webinars, and they made the attack. When you're being a victim of a combined attack, there is skills versus skills, and there is a part of lack. Because it's the skills of the attacker versus the skills of the defender. And once the attack starts, you can find 4 possible scenarios. Low skills means that the attacker has, okay, low skills. So low skills against what? Against the defense in the company. They have a good system of firewall, they have multi-factor authentication, they have a good system of antivirus, they have probably real-time alerts. So it's bad luck for the attacker, and he has low skills to make the task in this case. Wrong skills. Well, probably the attacker has the tools to attack a traditional data center. But your company, it's on the cloud right now. So you don't depend on a traditional data center. And in this case, the attacker has the wrong skills. So it's good for you because he will not be able to end the attack. Then is the bad luck. Bad luck for who? Okay, it's bad luck for you because you have everything set, you have everything with high defenses, with a robust security system, you have part of your sensitive information on the cloud, but the hacker gets to you through a temporary exposure and he made the attack. So you had bad luck this time. Or maybe you have a pretty good luck and you can rely on this. No, not really. You cannot. This case is not the best scenario because you are wide open. It's only that they haven't found you. But till the moment, you have good luck. So in the case you had bad luck or the attacker was high skilled and you got the attack, there are four stages of success, attacker success, by the way. So first, they didn't make the progress that they wanted to make. So they give up. Okay? This is your best scenario. This is your best scenario because you were a victim, but the attack stopped at some point and you survived. No ransom was demanded. Okay, you have many computers and many PCs and laptops that are compromised, but you have the backups. So you can keep working in a couple of days or maybe a week or so. So it's the best scenario. They didn't make sufficient progress. But then there is another way that they think that they can demand a ransom, but you will not pay. Why not? Okay, you have an operational impact. It's the same case like before. They didn't destroy completely everything, but they demanded the ransom, and you tell them no. So your position was strong, and you know that you have been damaged. You know that you had information leak, and you know that you have information lost, but you can recover. Okay, you have a damage in your reputation, and this will be recovered with the time. But in the end, you know what you have to do now. You know that you need the security tools, the right security tools. You know that you will make a plan for cybersecurity, and you know that this will not happen again. So the third degree of success is a low ransom fees. They made the attack, they get information, they did everything right. It's not total destruction, but the ransom is less costly than the recovery. Okay, so you will pay the ransom because it's a low fee. So it's better in this case. Pay the ransom cost less than rebuild your information system. Okay, you're trusting they will give you the decryption key and the data back. And that's a risk that you're like in a position where nobody is giving you any warranty that that will happen. Okay, but you will pay it because the cost is less. So later, you will have a cyber insurance policy with ransomware coverage. And later, you will put a new security barrier. And then there is a total success. A total success, as it says, is total success. They get the information they want. They destroy your servers as they want. You cannot work. You can't do anything. And you have two options. You can pay, for example, Colonial Pipeline, JBS Foods, they paid and they restored the service relatively quickly, a couple of weeks. Or you can refuse to pay, like the city of Baltimore and the city of Atlanta when they were attacked. So they had to rebuild their IT infrastructure from the ground. It's not a total success for you, it's a total success for the attacker. So these four keys are the keys that you can find after you were attacked on a combined attack. So tell me, your company survived at what cost? Get protected. You have to be smart. You need solutions. You don't need more policies. In this point of time, when you are already being attacked or you're afraid of being attacked, you need solutions. And the solutions will provide you an extra layer against a combined attack and against a ransomware attack. So first, we will talk about antivirus. Antivirus needs to scan, quarantine, and delete. And scan all the files, marking, quarantining, and deleting the affected ones. Because you are on an IBM server, so an infected file probably came through up the sea because the virus cannot propagate himself in the IBM system. How we know the iSecurity antivirus is good? Because we based it on the ClamAV. And ClamAV is owned by Cisco and is distributed in the AIX toolkit by IBM. It's cross-platform. Making it open source, make it that you can use his core and you can make the enhancements that you need to every operating systems that you want to work with. And it's considered one of the 5 best antiviruses. The ClamAV engine has a database of over 5 million virus signatures, and they are updated by the community. They are always using the latest technology, and the scanning is up to date always. So it's really, really fast for PDF and zip files. And the load time of the signatures, it's really low. So we combine those advantages with the iSecurity antivirus advantages that we have real-time, on-demand, and scheduled scanning. And we're able to scan a single file, but most important, we can use this antivirus also with an ICAP client and ICAP server technology. This means the following. When you have an antivirus with an ICAP client capabilities, you can outsource the CPU task to external servers. So you have no performance impact on your IBMI. And then you can choose which ICAP server provider you will use. So Okay, you have your antivirus engine that is based on ClamAV, but you will have your server provider for the database signatures, for example, McAfee. And this is really suitable for multiple developer organizations. So you can use any database with an ICAP server, and that's truly a great advantage. So you can use this tool or in the green screen at your IBM AI, or you can use this on a Windows PC that is connected to the server, and you can make all the configurations, all the scans, and use all the tools from a Windows. So you don't need to be an IBM AI expert to be able to make the scans, the schedules, and the configuration. So the first step is to get an antivirus that works inside your IBM AI server. And the second step is to get an anti-ransomware solution. Many think that antivirus can stop as anti-ransomware. Well, the truth is that antivirus do one thing and anti-ransomware do another thing that is completely different. Anti-ransomware detect, prevent, and respond. And the base of all of this is how it responds. So if you have a zero-day attack, that a zero-day attack is basically when a group of hackers find a hole in your security software. That's a zero-day attack because you don't have the patch for that security hole. So in our case, we're talking about a totally separated anti-ransomware software. So we don't have those holes on how we know, how we stop them, how we stop the attack, building intrusion detection honeypots. The honeypots are simulation files, are simulation directories. So they are like a working machine, but they don't work really. So we are constantly scanning, and if someone touched this file, it means absolutely that it's an attack. But we didn't stop there. We use the honeypots, but also we scan for any malicious activity. If someone is encrypting files in a high speed for any reason, obviously we know that it's a ransomware attack. And we have been stopping real attacks in the last 4 years. So it's not a tool that is 1 year old, 2 year old. We have 4 years stopping attacks constantly and keeping the IBMI safe and isolated from the attack. Every time a malicious activity comes, the anti-ransomware sends another administrator and isolated the server. For example, the results speak by themselves. If you don't have this kind of protection, and you have an antivirus protection, and you're a victim or a ransomware attack. For example, this is against WannaCry, but you have 2,217 files corrupted. And with protection, the connection was disabled. And the anti-ransomware stopped the attack. Because, as I said, it's about the connection. So we find it attacking, we stop the connection, we isolate the server, and we kick out the attacker. And the same as before, you can configure it and use it from your green screen, or you can configure and use it from a Windows PC with our graphic user interface. So in both cases, you are 100% protected. So as a summary, a combined solution versus a combined attack. If we have an anti-ransomware system, we have an antivirus system, and we have the ICAP client for the antivirus, so we are totally protected against a combined attack. But furthermore, we can add a good firewall system to our IBMI, and we can use multi-factor authentication inside IBMI. So we can make it going in the direction of a zero trust security approach. And then we are absolutely protected against every kind of combined attack. So a combined attack solution is to prevent infection, to free resources, and stop the attack in reaching your IBMI, because we care about your IBMI safety. I would like to invite you if you have in our comments on this video. Thank you very much for reaching to the end. If you have the need to get more information, visit www.razlee.com. We will be making webinars as often as possible and dedicated to iSecurity products and security inside the IBMI. See you in the next chapter.